So on September 25th, 2024, the Mr. McMahon documentary came out on Netflix. When it was announced, I was like, oh cool, they're going to show off the rise of Vince and how he turned his father's small wrestling promotion into the greatest and biggest wrestling promotion in the world. I was also looking forward to learning some things about him since for years, he has never really spoken about himself. But the day before the release, Vince made a post on X saying that he didn't regret participating in the documentary and was excited to share stories about his life, but from what he saw of it, it was more of a documentary to make him look like a bad person. After seeing his post, it definitely brought to my attention that when I did watch it, to look out for these things that he's saying. And oh boy, was he right. So I'm not going to go over every episode in detail about this documentary, but I'm going to talk about specific things that I really had a problem with. And I do really recommend everyone who hasn't watched it to do so, because honestly, it was really entertaining to relive a bunch of Mr. McMahon moments from WWE history. So to start everything off, they did a very good job showing off how over the years Vince continued to innovate in the wrestling world and make the WWE a giant part of American culture. They showed how Vince became the biggest villain in wrestling history and showed everything he had to fight through in order to continue the success of the WWE. They managed to get Vince to talk about his relationship with his father and how as a kid he was sexually assaulted by his stepfather. He has a nice quote that people should really take into consideration when they go through things in life. I know from a psychology standpoint, when you're abused as a kid, the tendency is for you to abuse. I think sometimes that's just a cop-out, but I've never subscribed to that. Anything rotten like that, anything bad that happens to you, get rid of it. Will it come forward on occasion? Sure. It will hurt on occasion. Sure. But throw it the back there and go forward. Now, to make it clear with this quote, I'm not saying anything bad that he has done in his life is okay just because he went through stuff. I'm saying for people who have, they should really try to push it in the back and move on in life. We always gotta keep going forward. Now, the thing that I didn't enjoy about this documentary is that clearly the creator turned it from a life story about Vince McMahon to let's make Vince look like Satan himself. Now, don't get me wrong, but all these allegations that are out on him and all the stuff that is happening in the past involving him do not make him look good at all. If he was the reason why Ashley Massaro ended up unaliving herself in 2019, then I completely understand why he could be considered Satan. If he was intentionally supplying wrestlers with steroids and other drugs in the 80s and 90s, which caused a lot of wrestlers' deaths, then we can all consider him Satan. If he really did use his power to do whatever he wanted with women and try to hide it by giving them money, then we could consider him Satan. But everything that was mentioned in this documentary to make him look bad were all just allegations. I think turning a 6-episode series about a man's life into a conspiracy witch hunt was definitely not the right move. And I'm not just saying this because of everything bad that they mentioned in this. I'm saying it because the second you start this documentary, they instantly pop up about how everything was pre-recorded before all of these recent allegations came up. The people in the public don't know what is true and what isn't, especially when it comes to a man who for 40 years has been playing a character. We shouldn't be judging people for what people think they have done. We should only judge people when we know for a fact that they have done something wrong. I'm probably going to get some hate for making it seem like I'm defending Vince over everything he could have done, but I'm not. I just don't like judging till I know things that are said are true. Overall, I think that other than all the negative things, this documentary was very good at showing the ups and downs that WWE had over the 40 years that Vince was involved, ranging from Vince buying the company from his dad, to him building Hulk Hogan up, to him realizing he had to change up the formula in order to beat WCW, to him even starting a football league, and to him giving the speech that later was the reason for John Cena's rise. Now, I can appreciate that even though they mentioned a lot of negatives, most of them affected the WWE as a whole. All those bad things later helped the WWE become a better company, focusing on giving wrestlers help if they have drug problems, making sure that the health and safety of each wrestler comes first. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this documentary. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching. Do you think they completely switched the focus of the documentary, or was it just me? Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.